You know what? Here's what I think we did. 10.
Later. Remind me. I like that.
You only need it once a month.
You know what? They're pretty expensive. I know. They're $1,000.
Do you want to lease it or do you want to buy it?
We'd have to buy it.
Yeah, the guys are back there.
Okay, you guys are gonna, don't sit down, because you're just gonna stand up. We're gonna go ahead and get started, and we'll start with the pledge, so if everybody could rise, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thanks everybody. All right, we have some folks in the audience that we have to recognize. So, we're going to start with the German exam state winners. So, Sarah, Brian, Gabrielle, and Carter, are you guys here? No? Yes? Okay. Come on.
Carter's dead. Carter's okay.
Oh, Carter's
on a
okay.
mission trip.
Okay. Well, we would like to congratulate the following. They placed first in Kentucky on the National German exam. Come on up. Sarah, are you Sarah?
Yeah.
Sarah Clayton in level 1, and Brian John Cox in level 4 at the high school. And then at the middle school, Gabrielle Foster, are you Gabrielle? And then Carter, Bechtel, correct?
Right.
They both placed first in Kentucky on the level 1 exam as well. So, since you're state champions, we wanted to
Carter did tell you that you all have to do a German demonstration.
Yeah, you have to do a German demonstration.
Now, how does that work at state? Do you have like a something they have you say? Do you have to prepare something?
No, it's like a test, and there's listening portions and reading portions.
Listening and reading. Okay. Very good.
Good stuff.
And it's safe to say that these students, our teachers know more than I do. They scored in the 99th percentile or above to be recognized. They're in the top 1%. Nationally.
Nationally.
Wow.
Very good.
Wow. I don't know size-wise shirts, which we have.
I don't know, do we have a,
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna give you guys all of the shirts and the certificates, and you guys can go out in the lobby and figure out which size you want. All right? The shirt, yes, it's the state champion shirt. So you each one get a state champion shirt because you placed first in an exam, and then winning isn't everything, it's just how we roll. So congratulations. So I'm gonna hand these off to you. Congrats, Sarah.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Good job.
There you go. And thank you for representing Carter so well. All right, and then is Margot here?
Of course Margot's here.
Margot's here. Margot placed first in the National Spanish exam for level 2. So we wanted to recognize her as well. So congratulations. There you go. They might have some different sizes out.
Intro to education,
Congrats.
Margot. Intro to education.
Intro to education, is that what we're trying to convince her to do?
Her sister was.
Following her sister. Oh, yeah, of course she was. Well, congratulations. Okay, and then we have Michaela, who has been here with us before. How many times? I know that this is. How many times do we want to? This is the 3rd time you've been here. So how many state titles do you have?
Altogether 4.
Altogether 4. Well, Michaela just won again this spring in the class 2A. She won the state title in discus and shot put. And you are going to UK?
Yeah.
The University of Kentucky to do track and field as well, correct? On a scholarship. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Good luck to you at college.
Kayla, you were just here a few months ago. Was that the winner?
Indoor, yeah.
Indoor. So indoor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one's through KTCCA, Cross Country and Track Association.
Okay.
And this is KHSA Outdoors.
Outdoors in the state.
So the state recognizes both, but they're separate.
Separate. Okay.
Separate
Very good.
organizations.
That's great.
Good luck at the University of Kentucky.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
The SEC. All right.
Congratulations.
I guess someone's gonna have birds next to you picture.
Okay. I'm going to now open it up to the community forum. If anybody has any questions or concerns for the board, I don't know that there's anybody anybody out in the hallway that,
Okay.
is there anybody out there, Diana? Okay. Sorry, I don't think so, the usual suspects. So, Mr. Wisman, we're gonna start off with action items.
All right. Okay, so phase 4, that would be the field house. We have a quick little report. As mentioned, there have been a couple outstanding little things, primarily the asphalt that's getting redone. And we had talked to them about getting a price to do a concrete pad where we've been parking the buses. And so on the action item tonight is a change order in the amount of, I believe, $19,630, and that covers that work, the portion that we agreed to pay for that asphalt work and that concrete pad. So those are the two items on that change order. They're planning on starting that work. Since it had already been previously approved due to the amount, they're planning on starting this work tomorrow with removing the asphalt to prepare to do the concrete pad, because they're going to do the concrete and then come back and do the asphalt overlay to match it later.
So the concrete's gonna go where the buses park now?
Yes.
Like where, because that's buckled there, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
The
The way to the buses is settled in that area or what?
Part of the reason we're doing this is because we had some issues. After we used the parking lot for a while, we had some issues with some of the condition of the asphalt after very little use and after we started putting the buses down there. So the project specifications called for test cores, and we required those to be done, and they went through and found that in all areas they did not have the proper amount of asphalt or the proper amount of gravel or combination of the two. So we called in and basically said, you didn't do this right, so how are we gonna fix it? So we basically said that the reason we were having some of those issues is because it wasn't done correctly by the asphalt contractor. And even though that asphalt contractor is out of business, a different contractor is gonna be coming in to do this work. So,
When we originally planned the project too, we didn't necessarily know that it was gonna make a great spot for our buses to park.
Yeah.
So that's why we didn't do the concrete pad from the beginning, you know. Otherwise, we probably would have. But it isn't necessarily a situation where those buses have caused this. I just don't think it was thick enough from the beginning, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And we're not paying for the repaving, but we're just adding the concrete pad basically
Yes.
as insurance, because that's where we're parking our buses.
we regularly have some delivery trucks that weigh more than our buses down there.
Yeah.
And that's when, even before the buses started parking down there, we started to notice some issues in some areas.
Right.
That's why we did the test cores, that's why we're doing the asphalt. And then the add-in is on the concrete part of it.
When'd you say that'll be done?
Well, they're going to do the concrete portion over this week so that they can do the asphalt during the KHA dead period, the end of June, first week in July.
So it should be done by then.
Yep. That way it's done and out of the way when coming off the dead period, when there'll be heavier amounts of traffic down there.
Okay.
Okay. Are there any other questions for Jerry on this change order for phase 4? If not, I need a motion and a second to approve change order number 4. So moved. All those in favor, please say aye. 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 Opposed? Okay. Now we have to revise the BG1 to reflect the change.
Yes, we have to, in order to afford these, we have to increase the contingency slightly because we were right there, and then choosing to do this concrete work put us over. Otherwise, we would have been under, but choosing the concrete pushed us slightly over. So we increased the contingency to cover basically that cost. I put an extra couple $100 in there, so it doesn't even add up to 20,000. So,
Okay.
so it's comes up to a new BG1 total of $3,360,000.
Okay. All right. I
So
need a
moved.
second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. On to phase 4 of the gym.
Well, since the last board meeting, we had a fairly successful grand opening, I'd say.
The weather cooperated, a flyover and everything.
Yes. So I've heard a lot of compliments about all the work that's been done up there. There are still a few items outstanding. The digital marquee, the benches, the fence. The fence is supposed to come in this week, start installing next week. They're still waiting on the capstone for the additional benches that are going in, and in that same order, part of the stone that's going to be part of the marquee. So they'll probably be working on the benches before they do the base for the marquee, because the marquee is a little bit longer lead time.
Is that the marquee that's on the right there on the drive?
Yes.
The pole sticking out?
Yep. Yep. That's an additional digital marquee. And then the signage going on as you go down the entrance toward the football field, the sign over the gate, they started installing that late last week and today. So that's starting to go up now.
I don't know if any of us have mentioned this, but we were talking about it at the celebration, where the walk goes up. There were several people that drove up there that day.
Yeah.
And we didn't know if maybe we needed to put two of the, I don't know what they're called. If we needed to put two right there, because we watched a couple people drive up and go off the curb. And it could be an education thing, but also if you're coming up that way and you're a little confused, lack of it, it might be
It's
helpful
something
to
we've
have
been
those there. I don't know if you guys
trying
have
to
thought about
monitor a
that.
little bit, because I observed some of the same. We can't obviously do that going down toward the football field, because we need that for access to
Right,
emergency
correct.
vehicles. But we have seen several people who have come up and tried to go off the curb.
Yes.
So
So really just the walkway that's up, that's
Yep.
north of the drive, or east of the drive, I don't know.
it's something internal.
Closer
We
to the
talked a
avenue,
little bit
you know
about
where I'm talking
monitoring
about.
and then deciding if we needed to do that. We thought we'd go the education route first and see if we can
Okay.
curb that behavior.
And that was the first time a lot of people had been up there, and it was a confusing day, but it was like, okay, wait a minute. May need to rethink this a bit.
Well, and once the paving is complete, it is all gonna be restriped, repainted with a more reflective paint, so it'll be a little more obvious, I think, in that scenario there too, what's a place to drive and what's a walkway.
That's fine. And is some of that reflective paint going on those steps as well? Because we saw a couple people miss a step kind of thing. So the steps from the street down to the drive,
I know what you're
basically,
talking about.
you know where I'm talking about?
I don't think we called for that, I think we might wanna look at that.
You might want to look at that, we saw a couple people kind of not lose it there too, so.
That's just throwing everybody off that that's not a driveway down there.
It is,
Bottom
absolutely
line.
it is, I know
It
it
is.
is, so.
Well,
Really.
that's because they expect it to be.
Right.
Right, it's been forever, so.
Can't
But
walk
it-
on it, wanna drive on it.
It looks beautiful. I mean, I think that event went much better than we ever could have anticipated, so.
Yeah, the event was great, and it was unbelievably well attended.
Yep.
Needless to say. And the place looks great. You drive by there now, and it's a head turner. Used to be a head turner for the wrong reasons for many years. So it's nice to see.
It's a
that's
long
for
way
sure.
from lawn units in the front yard, isn't it?
It is that. It looks great, though.
Yep.
Well, we are working hard to wrap it up, if you will. So, as a matter of fact, we sent a few emails today, trying to light some fires to get it done. So we're hoping, all the pieces in the next month will really come together and we can wrap that project up. It's how it is on the end when there's a few things to be done. It's no longer a priority. So we're working on those things.
And you're taking a look at that roof? Let me know.
Oh, no. Do we have a leaky roof already?
Well, kind of got a little bit of an issue.
What do you expect?
I'm glad you said it, Joe.
We're so glad you're here, Joe. Okay, so now we have to go through each change proposal. These are all work that was done prior to.
Some of
That we
it,
had previously pretty much approved.
some of it is work that was discussed maybe in working sessions and things like that, but we didn't have on the official form yet. Others are things, it's work that's not been done yet, that's still to come.
Okay.
So these are all the items that are above the threshold. 43R is the new flagpole, plaza, walkways, and decorative benches. So that's an add of $45,749.
And we had already previously talked about it. Clearly that work is done.
Yes.
everything in there is, all of these are things which, you know.
None of these will surprise
Yeah,
you.
we've,
Right.
we've, you know, previously discussed all of these things, and indeed, some of this is directly connected to the Tom Jones donation and also foundation money. Not all, but a good chunk of this. So it was scope. You know, Joe was a little hypersensitive about all these change proposals because he didn't want the board to think, you know.
It was
he's-
his issue.
Yeah, right, but
Come on, Joe.
this is
Here
all,
it
every one of these is an added scope
What's
to the
wrong with
project.
design?
I mean, they're all things that we.
Added value to the
We
project.
added after the fact, you know, that this project grew, you know, enormously as it was going on, so. So did the field house, which was gonna be a metal building down in the valley, if you remember. Yeah, yeah.
But it looks great.
Right,
And
yeah.
all those improvements to the outside that we've
Yeah.
added on these.
But a
change orders.
decade later, we're done, basically, almost. And so
Right.
I think, you know, a lot of people have worked really hard over this last decade, and a lot of people have raised funds for this last decade. And I think it's an amazing thing that our community has been able to do. So,
Right.
these last few things, let's just wrap them up and be done.
Yep.
All right, so I need a motion and a second to approve 43R, which is the flagpole.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Next up is 47, which is the additional masonry seating benches and fencing along the property line in the Walk of Fame for $49,314.
Some of that's done, but not all, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right, I need a motion and a second to approve change proposal 47.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, 50R.
50R is adding the electronic monument sign, the additional digital marquee. It's been ordered but not installed, and that's $35,648.
Okay. I need a motion and a second to approve 50R.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. 54.
54 is adding the concrete landscaping curbs along the front entrance of the north building. It's all the curb that was put in to facilitate the landscaping in front of the north building.
Right around where
One
that
more
sign
runoff,
was put
right?
in.
Yes.
Should have been done.
It looks really nice. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was at first when I looked at it. I was
Yeah,
like,
she
what
called
are
me
they
crazy at
doing? I'm like,
first.
what are you doing? So,
Well, it
Well, I
it
call it-
seems
I
to
call it
be,
cra- I call it
Why are they
crazy
putting curbs
often.
along the sidewalk?
Why?
it is
I'm
something
trying to
that,
fall.
you know,
That was prompted by my father, just so you know.
Containment curbing. If needed. Looks good.
Yes.
Made a big.
It made a huge difference. It looks great.
and that is $20,243.
Okay, I need a motion and a second to approve change proposal 54.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And change order 6, I assume encompasses all of
All
the
of
ones
that
we just
plus-
approved.
Plus quite a few minor ones, but those are by far the bulk of it. And that's an add to the contract of $167,175.
All right, I need a motion and a second to approve change order 6.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now we need to revise the BG1 to reflect the change order.
Yes,
Correct.
we had some money left in the contingency to cover these late ads, but not all, so it's a fairly similar situation where we just added money to the contingency line to be funded.
Do you know how much you added specifically?
I want to say 130,000. And that takes the total of the BG1 to $5,885,426.
Okay, I need a motion and a second to approve the amended BG1, the revised BG1.
So moved.
I'll second it. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we've done the changes.
We do have a pay application to Century for $46,386.43.
It's all been looked at, right, Jeff?
Yes. And I think you still have about 280,000 left.
That's what I was just gonna ask.
Still have plenty of money left.
Good deal.
Okay.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, on to Moyer.
And starting on Memorial Day weekend, we got a lot of more eyes watching the progress of the Moyer project now that the swim club is open.
Oh, that's great.
because it's you know, I've had a number of people that are members there mention to me that, you know, I had no idea how things were. Now that I'm back there, now that I drive down James Avenue, it's kind of amazing to see what's going on. If they hadn't been down there 9 months, they really weren't prepared to see the retaining wall and the mobiles and everything like that. And you know, there's only some negative comments, but overwhelmingly positive comments about the progress that's been made. Things have been going on quite well in the last month. Now that we've had some good weather, the remaining excavation is done. The rest of the fencing was put up on top of the retaining wall. All the rest of the foundations on this first phase, or I should say the vast majority, there's a small area left to be poured, but essentially the foundations are there. And in the area where the kitchen and storage and kind of custodial receiving will be, they have done the concrete deck and the structural steel. So we are now rising out of the ground over there.
There's a lot of steel left now.
That's quite a bit done in just a few days. So, and they're moving rapidly along, you know, with the subgrade work, so that as soon as they can, they'll get more concrete pads done, and we'll see more steel. So they're making good progress.
Great. A little bit easier to work without little bodies all around the building, too.
It's not so much that it's easier, they just feel, it's just, you know, they're being so cautious and so careful, they can actually just kind of work for a few months like it's a construction site.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, we still have people around. We've had a number of visitors.
That's what we get here. Okay.
You're happy with the progress?
Yes, sir.
That's good.
Great. All right. If there are no other questions, I need a motion and a second to approve the payout number 7 to Morel.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Jerry, thanks. Mr. Stratton, you're up.
Read all the policies, right?
Art read all the policies.
I read every policy update, every one of them.
It was. All right, we will start with the policy updates, and there are a few of them, but unlike last year, a lot of the updates that we received and that we've recommended are cosmetic. They've changed a word here or there that really didn't change what the policy said. There's been some cosmetic things where they've added some explanation about what the policy was intended to do. And again, we get these, of course, from KSBA based on new laws that have been passed, and then, other law cases that have been tried in attorney general opinions, things like that. So again, really minor changes for the most part. The one, probably the biggest change for us is the new bullying law, which required a policy change. The main policy change for us is our policy in the past has had the definition of bullying from the Kentucky Center for Safe Schools, and so now the state has come up with their own bullying policy. It's very similar to ours, but a little different, and different enough to make a difference, I will say. So the other part of the law requires that not only do we include the new definition in our policy, but that we also make sure that we include in our code of conduct, in our school handbooks, publications to students and parents, the definition, the fact that we prohibit bullying, ways for them to let teachers, principals know if bullying is going on, and then the consequences. So to report it, thank you. So those are the changes that, again, that we've made, and we've already made changes to the code of conduct, and those changes have already been sent to principals for their publications as well. So that's really the major change. The others are really fairly cosmetic. Do you have any questions over any others that you saw? Or
Anybody have any questions for John? No? Okay. Then I need a motion and a second to approve the first reading of the 16-17 policy updates.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay.
John. Go ahead. You're just
All right,
getting
All right.
the calendar, we have to amend this year's calendar due to the
Yes.
1 hour delay.
That's correct. That's it. Each year we have to send into the KDE. I'll do it tomorrow, the amended calendar. And yeah, we did not keep one of the 1 hour delays that we had planned for, and we did have one 1 hour delay. So we'll send that in, the amended calendar, to reflect those changes in our calendar, if you all approve that.
We had 1 hour delay?
Yes.
Was it?
And then we did away with the late.
That's right, I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, I need a motion and a second to approve the amended 15-16 calendar.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now the tentative 17-18 calendar.
Yes. The 17-18 calendar is
Bye, Joe.
a little bit difficult. As we talked about in our working board meeting a couple months ago, one of the problems we have in creating this is a lot of other calendars for this time period are not out yet. So as you know, I brought it to you once before, but we had some question about AP testing, and we don't know when that is going to begin in 2018. And so we were getting out a couple days earlier, as you recall, but we decided, since we don't know and are not sure of the AP testing, we're going to play it safe. And so we've added 2 additional days there at the end of May, the 23rd and the 24th, which meant that we had to take 2 days off in that second semester as well. We've changed to take off on January 2nd, which extends the Christmas break a little bit. And then we had a 3-day weekend in February, and so we took off the 16th, which makes that a 4-day weekend. And those are the changes from the last calendar that you saw that concerned for this year.
So we still don't have the dates on those?
We do not.
Hmm.
Any questions or concerns?
So that would put graduation on Memorial Day weekend again, correct?
Unless we have one, yeah, we have, I
This
guess,
is
2 snow
17,
days. We would.
18, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Gotcha. Okay. All right, does anybody have any questions on the calendar for John? If not, I need a motion and a second to approve the tentative 17-18 calendar.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. School-wide fundraisers for 16-17.
And I'll just tell you, these are exactly the same as last year, except for Woodfield changed, took one off and add a booster-thon fun run. So that's the only change to this fundraiser list from last year that was approved.
Which one fell off?
Came off, do you remember?
Top of Kids magazine subscription came off and the
Oh, yeah.
Booster-thon fun run?
correct.
All right.
First contest is saying that.
Is it like the Jaguar jog?
Much better.
Jamie's not here to defend herself.
I'm
That's right,
recommending,
Jamie.
yeah, I'm recommending we take the 3 Woodfield fundraisers off.
No, wait a minute, Mr. Stratton, you're district person now.
That's right.
I'm taking up for Jamie. No.
All right, that's fair.
I called and asked him if we should do it as well, because the guy called me and he told me to stay away from it, but I'm thinking now is because he's out.
There's a little competition now, Dawn, I mean,
That's it.
it's always a challenge between the 3, so, it's healthy, challenge. All right, anybody have any questions for John on the school-wide fundraisers? If not, I need a motion and a second to approve those for 16-17.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, we're just cruising on through. Mr. Stratton, school fees, 16-17.
And as you know, you all must approve school fees each year. The changes this year, if you notice from last year, kindergarten and grades 1 through 5, I'll just go through by grade levels. They are increased by $50. That is the technology fee that was added for the additional items that they will have to go along with the iPads this coming year, if that's correct. And that's the only fee that is increased there. The other fees stayed the same. At the middle school, the fee stayed the same except for the technology fee, which was decreased by $25 from last year. But again, the other fees stayed fairly constant. And at the high school, the same thing, a reduction of the technology fee by $25. They also decreased their science fees for all the science classes there. I believe every one of them was decreased by $5 each. And then they added in the engineering technology fees. Those are new for this year.
Decreased general fee by 5.
Thank you. Decreased general fee by 5.
So is that right, the elementary fees are going up 50?
Yes.
Yeah, and that is the technology fee, and essentially, we felt like that, originally, at one point, we had thought maybe $75 for that elementary fee, but after really studying it, Andy and Diane and I looked at it really closely in terms of where we were with that pool of money, which is really there, sort of our insurance, if you will, in terms of that fleet of devices that we have, and then also all the periphery, all the things that we need around, both the MacBooks at the middle and the high school, and then the iPads at the elementary to support that. We really felt that, $50 and $75 would work, because we are not going to, if you remember, we are actually not going to purchase third-party insurance going forward. We're just going to act as our own insurance. And I think that's really going to be a great move for us, because that saves us about $40 a device on the MacBooks. And we had so few claims that it made absolutely 0 sense to continue to do that. So we subtract that out, that $40 we were spending, we can certainly lower it 25 and still be in a good place. So.
And the $50 also covers the case for the iPad.
That includes the case. That includes the case, which is a one-time expense,
Right.
but that's $20 for the case that we're putting on those things. Yeah.
Because we ordered in such quantity.
Right.
If we have to replace it, it'll be more than 20.
And the only additional fee is the school lunch fee, and we'll have the cafeteria report next month for you, but we're recommending that all the lunch fees stay the same as they did this year, so no change in lunch fees for next year. That's all the fees.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions for John on fees? Okay, if not, I need a motion and a second to approve the school fees for 16-17.
So move.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. All right, Mr. Kirschner, the HMS coaching positions.
You know what, we got it in a different order
Oh.
here, okay, all right.
Oh,
But we can go
sorry,
there.
I'm online,
But
so.
we can go there, though.
We got
Okay?
X on
We can
yours.
actually do that.
Oh, you had salary schedules.
Yeah, we do.
He has
That's
the
okay.
old version.
Yes,
Yeah,
the old
actually
version.
have an old version there, all right. Yes, we do have a recommendation from the middle school to add cross-country and track positions. Basically, we have a large number of students participating in both those sports at the middle school level, and so, the board, I previously sent this information out to you. I think everybody's pretty much supportive of this notion. With that kind of participation, we need adults, additional adults in the mix to make sure that, those kids get the guidance that they need. So it's a good problem to have, actually. Good problem to have. So I'd like to recommend that we create those positions and add them to our extra service schedule.
Okay, anybody have any questions or comments?
Sounds good.
Okay, sorry. All right, if there's no discussion, I need a motion and a second to approve the 3 HMS coaching positions.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Salary schedules for 16-17.
I have submitted to you the salary schedule for certified and classified, which includes a step increase for all employees. There's not an additional percentage increase recommended this year, given the funding stayed basically flat from the state. In addition to that, we added quite a few positions this year in order to support particularly our elementary schools. So I'm recommending that we do just a step increase on the certified and classified schedules this year. In addition to that, the extra service schedule is there. There's really no changes there other than the positions that we just added. For the most part, it is the same as last year.
Is there a required increase in here that the state gave us last year? The year
Not
before?
that was last year.
Last year.
That was in the previous budget cycle. There was a 2% and then a 1% in the 14 fiscal
Got it.
budget.
They did not.
But they
do
did not
anything
do
this
that
time.
this year.
No unfunded mandate.
No unfunded, correct.
How are we doing? Do we check ourselves against the others in terms of average salary? and all that.
Mhm.
Are we still right in there where we?
Yeah,
wanna
we
be?
are. We're, you know, our certified schedule is, you know, it will be in the top 5 in the state. You know, it's, if you took the average, there's a bunch of different ways to look at that, but if you
Right,
took the
right.
average salary in the certified schedule, it would be in the top 5 in the state. There's not a lot of districts that are doing raises this year, percentage raises. There are a few, but a lot are staying.
I've seen the notes where some aren't doing step.
There are
Yeah,
a
there are a
few
couple
of
I
that
saw
too.
that, yeah.
There are a few there too. And just remember that the step alone for us, what Andy was, that's a fluid thing, but it's about $180,000.
Yeah, it's close to
Just-
two,
just-
easy, yeah.
Just the step increase for us.
Okay.
Any other questions on the salary schedules for 16-17? If not, I need a motion and a second to approve all of the salary schedules for 16-17.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now we need to set payroll dates for 16-17, now that we've approved salary.
Absolutely not a whole lot else
Not a
to
whole
say
lot
about.
of discussion, other
really.
than setting the dates. So
Yeah.
I need a motion and a second to approve the payroll dates for 16-17.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right. Got through those action items quickly. Discussion items. I'll turn it over to you.
Well, I am really excited tonight to introduce to you our new elementary assistant principal, Miss Ashley DeCaos, who comes to us from Boone County. Ashley, you want to stand up? Oh, Ashley, you're not finished.
Sorry. I was gonna be
You
easy.
are not finished, okay. So Ashley, tell the board a little bit about yourself. Okay?
I come from Boone County, currently live in Union, Kentucky, and obviously was an instructional coach at Boone County for 3 years. Taught before that 5th grade and 3rd grade in both Berea and Kenton County. So kind of had a taste of a few different counties. So but I'm very excited to be here, the opportunity.
Where are you from originally?
Elizabethtown. E-Town. Old E-Town.
Hardin County girl.
Hardin
Okay.
Hardin County.
Now, there is one little dark thing that we need to kind of bring forth here about Ashley.
Uh-oh.
Okay, there is just, you know, there's always,
I have no dark
there is always something, you
She's
know.
not a Cards fan?
No, it's worse than that, I'm afraid. She's married to a cupcake.
I was just gonna ask, that was what I was gonna guess. That is exactly what I was gonna guess. I was gonna go,
That
she's
is
married
far
to a
worse than
cupcake.
anything else.
Oh, man.
So you know, that being
That
said,
helps. That helps.
that being said, you know that she must have just been outstanding.
What is it with these cupcake dudes? They're all
She-
over the
I don't
place.
have any island gear though yet.
Oh,
but you
we'll
will.
definitely make you up on that.
But you will. All right, and you will wear it with pride, Ashley. Okay. Well, we're glad you're here. Thank you.
Welcome. Very exciting. Okay. Board committee updates. Anybody have anything? Seems like it's been quiet. I can't think of anything that has been going on.
All good? Graduation was good?
Graduation went well, yes, so. Mr. Haskamp, Title IX report.
This, well, you guys have seen this report every year, and basically there are the 3 tests for Title IX. Just to kind of review those, the first test is the numbers test. Are the genders being equally represented? That one's really, really hard to meet, and we do not meet that. And Title IX, you have to meet one of the 3 tests, and you're good. We do meet one of them, but we don't meet that test.
Well, it's hard when you have football, so.
That one is. Actually, I did kind of my own analysis too to see, because we can't count dance and we can't count cheer. Those numbers don't even count. Even if we added those in, we still would not meet. You have to be within 2%. So that one's a really, really tough one for any school to really meet. The second test is a test of are you adding new sports essentially, and frankly we didn't add anything for next year. Or last year there was no expansion of any of our programs, and that takes into account of freshman programs, JV programs. We were the same as the previous year.
Nothing middle school though, right? Starts
No.
freshman.
with just the high school programs. But it does count the middle school students that participate on high school programs. Okay. The third test is the accommodating interest test. That's the one that we typically will meet every year. That's the one that we met this year, and that's based off of student interest. Are we providing opportunities for our students? So we have met that. We are exploring some additional opportunities for students based off the interest. But according to Title IX, we have met third criteria. Any questions?
So we don't add cheer in, but I thought that they started to recognize cheer as a sport.
It is. It
But
is
not
recognized by
counted in
KHSA, but Title IX is federal, so it's
That's
not
right. That's right.
counted in there. So there has been talk that it may be added in this coming year. So when we go to our update in the fall, we'll know for sure.
Anything on the horizons for new sports?
The one that we're going to be exploring is a club opportunity for this coming winter, potentially, will be archery. There was a significant interest in archery, and that makes the most sense as it's sanctioned by the KHSA.
Right.
So we're one of, we're one of the very few schools in the area that don't have it. There's 14 local schools that have archery as a sanctioned sport. So we need to, we have the interest, we need to explore that.
Where would they do that?
Most of them do them in their gyms.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a winter sport. They'll do it in the gyms.
In the gym.
And they have, it's modified equipment. It's similar to what Ms. Hamill would do
Okay.
in the summer. Yeah, and that's a co-ed sport, so that would help us.
Yeah.
And quite a few students show interest in that.
You know, one of the big things that you see around the state as it relates to Title IX, which was a reality here a few years ago, is the discrepancy in facilities. I go back to, Boone County had a lawsuit over, that. I mean, it happens, and it's. I'm very proud of the fact that you look at our facilities now for boys and girls, and they are, not only are they equal, but they're outstanding. Okay, so that wasn't mentioned there, but that is the thing most often that comes to the board level, and if you recall, we had that 4 or 5 years ago, and rightfully so, to be honest with you, rightfully so. But we've come a long way. We've come a long way in that regard.
No doubt. Any other questions?
Any other questions for Matt on Title IX? Great, thanks. All right. Well, we're down to the consent agenda already, so I need a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. We're going to be going into executive session. Just to let everybody know, we may or may not be taking action after the executive session, so needed to announce that. I can't think of any other announcements that we have right now. 4th of July parade before our next one, so for those of you that want to walk, that's right, it's on the 2nd, the 4th of July parade on the 2nd. We will have our standard group walking, so
Lots of candy.
feel free to join us, lots of candy. Okay, I need a motion and a second to go into executive session. Second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. All right, you guys are all free to go.
I introduced